The woman was just about to win the grand prize in the chef competition, but with only 2 minutes left in the competition, she suddenly dumped her dish into the trash can. The judges on site were instantly shocked by her action, but as the chef competition entered the final countdown, the woman didn't give up the competition. Instead, she used her actions to prove her skills. It turned out the woman had been reborn. In her previous life, when she joined the chef competition, she and her female apprentice, who was also a contestant, became rivals. Unexpectedly, she and her apprentice ended up making the exact same creative dish. Since the apprentice presented her dish first, everyone thought the woman had copied her apprentice's idea. The woman tried hard to defend herself, claiming that the dish was her own original creation, but no one believed her. Then the apprentice said the woman just wanted to win the championship too badly, so she stole her idea. The apprentice's statement put the woman under a storm of public criticism. Just as the woman was about to prove her innocence, her boyfriend suddenly rushed out and slapped her. Then he and the apprentice accused her of plagiarism. Her boyfriend's betrayal pushed her into an even deeper crisis. This only made her look more guilty of plagiarism. But the woman never expected even her most trusted assistant would now side with the apprentice and accuse her. At that moment, the woman realized she had been set up. The three of them had probably teamed up long ago to steal her ideas, but the woman, who had seen the world, wasn't going to be defeated by such a petty scheme. To prove her innocence, she suggested competing in the other segments first. The apprentice looked obviously nervous when she heard that. In order to block the woman from turning things around, the apprentice gave a subtle signal to someone in the crowd. Then a hitman she had arranged beforehand suddenly rushed out from the crowd and stabbed the woman while she was unguarded. The scene instantly descended into chaos. The woman clearly didn't plagiarize, but now she had no chance left to explain. Perhaps God heard the woman's resentment and let her be reborn right before the competition started. Before she could even react, her boyfriend suggested teaming up with the apprentice. He explained that the apprentice's cooking skills were weaker, so she needed his help more. He hoped the woman wouldn't take it too personally. Looking at the boyfriend who had already betrayed her, the woman didn't mind their partnership at all, nor did she care that they had been secretly involved. So she immediately announced she was breaking up with him. Seeing their affair exposed, the ex-boyfriend tried to cover it up with anger, but the woman slapped him hard across the face. Then she slapped the apprentice too. After giving them both a small taste of punishment, the woman immediately said she was quitting the competition. The apprentice, who had planned to copy her again, was stunned. Even the assistant advised her not to act impulsively. Seeing the assistant's panicked expression, the woman became even more certain the assistant and apprentice were in it together. To avoid the tragedy of her past life, she decided to kick the assistant out of her team. Only then could she ensure her work wouldn't be leaked. But the chef competition was about to begin. During the ingredient selection round, she thought that as long as she didn't make the same dish as her apprentice, she wouldn't be accused of plagiarism, and the outcome would surely change. So she gave up choosing ingredients from her original recipe. She was going to pick crab, which was perfect for the season, to make a delicious crab dish. Unfortunately, her apprentice and ex-boyfriend showed up to select ingredients too. The apprentice even said she was also going to make crab. Upon hearing that, the woman had no choice but to give up that dish. She turned to fish instead. To prevent the apprentice from copying her, she picked several other ingredients so she could handle any surprises during the contest. After the chef competition started, the host asked the woman what dish she was planning to make. The woman openly admitted she was going to make a chicken dish. Her goal was to make the apprentice choose the same dish as hers. Sure enough, the woman wasn't wrong in her judgment. The apprentice once again picked the same ingredients as hers. But this time, the woman wasn't panicked at all, because this was the trap she had set for her apprentice. Only by fully figuring out what the other person was making could the woman precisely avoid making the same dish. Then, the woman took the half-cooked chicken and dumped it into the trash can. The apprentice was very surprised by the woman's move. Right after, the woman brought out a basin of various types of fish. She clapped her hands on the table, then grabbed a kitchen knife and swiftly chopped at the fish. In the blink of an eye, she sliced the fish into thin pieces. Then she took parts from different kinds of fish and assembled them into the shape of a complete fish. She then placed the fish into the steamer and started preparing the seasoning, but she never expected that the apprentice would finish her dish first, and her dish wasn't chicken. It was the same fish dish the woman was making. At this point, point, the woman was filled with fear. No matter how she changed her ingredients, the apprentice's dish still ended up being the same. As the apprentice was presenting her dish, she deliberately hinted that someone had stolen her idea. She claimed she finished early to prove her innocence. The apprentice even put on a fragile and innocent expression, deliberately making the audience think the woman was the plagiarist. Seeing her freshly steamed fish become the apprentice's so-called evidence against her, the woman hurriedly covered her dish with the lid. But the apprentice wasn't done yet. She even walked straight up to the woman and reached out to lift the lid off the woman's pot. Little did she know, the woman was already prepared.